Hello, Forever Young family. In July of last year, 2024, Disney introduced its Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, Lightning Lane Single Pass, and Lightning Lane Premier Pass. I'm going to cover these in this video. As I stated in my Preparing for Your Magic Trip video, Lightning Lanes are an item to be considered when planning for your Disney trip. The Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, Lightning Lane Single Pass, and Lightning Lane Premier Pass are a skip-the-line service. You pay a separate cost per day to skip the standby line for certain attractions. Lightning Lane refers to the physical line at the attraction, and the other entrance to the attraction is the standby line. To book Lightning Lanes, you must do so on the My Disney Experience app on your phone. You must use your phone and the My Disney app. You cannot use your laptop. All Disney hotels, the Dolphin, the Swan Reserve, and Shades of Green can book their Lightning Lanes 7 days prior to the first day of their trip. Non-resort guests can book 3 days prior to their park ticket, and international guests cannot book anything until they're on U.S. soil. But let's go over that. Lightning Lane is a non-refundable service that allows you to go to the Lightning Lane when it is your time to ride the attraction. As I stated earlier, all Disney hotels, the Swan, the Dolphin, the Swan Reserve, and the Shades of Green can book their Lightning Lanes 7 days prior to the first day of their trip. So beginning at 7 a.m., 7 days prior to your check-in, you can book your Lightning Lane for your entire stay up to 14 days. And you can also book your Lightning Lanes for your entire party. If you are a non-resort guest, not staying at a Disney hotel, you can begin booking your Lightning Lanes 3 days prior to your park ticket. For annual pass holders not staying at a Disney hotel, you can begin booking 3 days prior to the first theme park reservation. But then you have to wait a day to book the second day at a theme park, which is 3 days prior to that visit. So it's day by day. So you book 1 day for your first day, the next day you book for your second day, the next day you book for your third day, as long as it's 3 days prior to that theme park visit. International guests cannot book anything until they are on U.S. soil. Prior to the 7 or 3 days, be sure you are linked to everyone in your party, to all your friends or your family that's going to be on your party. Make sure you are linked through the My Disney Experience app. And remember, you can only use your phone. You cannot use your laptop. You can only book one attraction once. Attractions are listed as tiers. They're listed as Tier 1 attractions and Tier 2 attractions. Let's go over Lightning Lane Multi-Pass first. You can always have 3 attractions booked at any time. So when you first go in at 7 a.m., 7 or 3 days prior to your visit, to your Disney visit, you can book 1 Tier 1 ride and 2 Tier 2 rides, so you can have 3 attractions booked, or you can book 3 Tier 2 attractions. So let's go over the Tier 1s and the Tier 2s. So for Tier 1, for Epcot, Tier 1 is Frozen Ever After, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and Soarin' Around the World. So you can book one of those. And for Tier 2, you can book 2 Tier 2 or forego booking a Tier 1 and just book all 3 Tier 2s. And Tier 2 attractions consist of Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival, The Journey into Imagination with Figment, Living with the Land, Mission Space, The Seas with Nemo and Friends, Spaceship Earth, and Turtle Talk with Crush. For Magic Kingdom, the Tier 1 attractions are Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Jungle Cruise, Peter Pan's Flight, Space Mountain, and Tiana's Bayou Adventure. The Tier 2 attractions for Magic Kingdom consist of the Barnstormer, Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, Haunted Mansion, It's a Small World, Mad Tea Party, The Magic Carpets of Aladdin, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Mickey's PhilharMagic, Pirates of the Caribbean, Tomorrowland Speedway, and Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid. For Hollywood Studios, the Tier 1 attractions are Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith, and Slinky Dog Dash. That's my favorite. Okay, so the Tier 2 are Alien Swirling Saucers, Beauty and the Beast live on stage, Disney Junior Play and Dance, For the First Time in Forever, a Frozen Sing-Along Celebration, Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, Muppet Vision 3D, Star Tours The Adventure Continues, The Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, and Toy Story Mania. Now, Animal Kingdom does not have tiers, so you could book 3 of these at any time. They're Dinosaur, which is closing, so depending on when you get to the park, whether it's closed or not. Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain, Feathered Friends in Flight, Festival of the Lion King, Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond, It's Tough to Be a Bug, that's cute, Cali River Rapids, Kilimanjaro Safaris, and Nave River Journey. And we will go over in a few moments how to book these and what you do when you tap into an attraction and how to book another attraction. But let me give you a little bit more information first. Let's go over the single pass very quickly. Okay, so I have listed the single pass attractions. And for the Magic Kingdom, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Tron Light Cycle Run, and for Epcot is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rerun. Hollywood Studios is Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. And for Animal Kingdom, it's Avatar Flight of Passage. Now these are an additional cost. It's an additional cost to your pass and your ticket to get inside the park, and it is separate from the multi-pass. For Lightning Lane Single Pass, you can only book 2 per day. So let's say you're going to start out at Magic Kingdom and then go to Hollywood Studios in the afternoon. So you book Seven Dwarfs Mine Train in the morning, and then use your second single pass. You book Star Wars Rise of the Resistance in the afternoon. You cannot book another single pass attraction for that day. So before you book these, before your 7 or 3 days come up, you must know what you are going to ride. Plan ahead, because then you can get the attractions that you want and not be disappointed when you leave your trip and you didn't really ride your must-do attractions. There's a lot of attractions and there's only so much time. So it's really vital that you do your planning ahead of time. Then, if you do your planning ahead of time, once you get these locked down, you get your lightning lanes and you're all set, then you can enjoy the trip because you know you're going to ride the attractions that you want and that you will have your must-dos covered. So let's do some planning before the 7 or 3 days in advance booking. This is what I do. Let's look at an example of my schedule, and I'll show you how I book these. Okay, so I write down and as I'm making my park reservations, I'm also write down my agenda. So Saturday, I'm going to Hollywood Studios. Sunday, I'm going to start at Animal Kingdom and then hop over to Hollywood Studios. On Monday, I'm going to spend half the day at Epcot and then the afternoon at Magic Kingdom because we have reservations at Magic Kingdom, so we're going to spend the afternoon at Magic Kingdom so we can go to our dining reservation, or meet our dining reservation. Tuesday, I'm going to Epcot. Wednesday, Magic Kingdom, the whole day at Magic Kingdom. There's lots to do there, so we're going to spend the whole day at Magic Kingdom. Now you can see I have expanded this just to make sure that I do my must-dos, that I go ahead when I have this in front of me when I start booking my lightning lanes. I've only done a few days just to give you an idea. So you can see that I start with Wednesday and I have backwards planned. I backwards planned from there. And the reason why is because I always try to schedule Magic Kingdom later in my trip. And I do that because I want to ride Tiana's. And that is the newest attraction, the most in demand, the most attraction that's in demand. And I want to make sure that I ride this ride because it is at the top of my must-dos. So I plan it in the back, and that's where I start my lightning lanes. So when I go to my Disney World app and start to purchase my lightning lanes, I do it from the very last day because others are starting from the beginning and going forward, where I am going backwards to make sure that I can get this Tiana, or I have a better chance of getting it. So when I go into my Disney app on my phone at 7 a.m., I'm going, okay, so Wednesday is my last day. I'm going to be at Magic Kingdom all day. The first one I do is I click lightning lanes, and then Tiana, it's a tier 1. Then I book 2 others, and Pirates and Haunted Mansion. Okay. Then it'll ask me, and we'll go through this in a moment. It'll ask me, it'll go through that. You hit continue. You have to put in your payment information, or first you put in who's going to ride, what party. So it's you, and if your husband, your kids, you click all of those, and I'll show you in a moment. And then you go to your payment information. Then it'll ask you, do you want to make another purchase, lightning lane purchase? So you hit that. Then on Tuesday, you pick your date, Tuesday, pick the park. I'm at Epcot. Okay, tier 1, I selected Remy. Then for my two other tiers, my 2 other rides, because I could have 3 at all times. So I selected Spaceship Earth and Living with the Land. Then I move on. Okay, so Monday, I'm at Epcot and then at Magic Kingdom. So I'm going to rope drop Frozen. So I'm rope dropping Frozen, and my tier 1, I have selected Soarin'. Then and the first 3 also have to be at the same park. So even though I'm going to Magic Kingdom for the other half of the day, the first 3 have to be at Epcot because that's where I'm starting my day. So I'm rope dropping Frozen, then the tier 1 is Soarin', then Living with the Land, and Nemo. Okay, so now I get to the park and I tag into Nemo. Okay, so now I'm riding Nemo. Well, guess what? That frees up a space because I could have 3 at all times. Now, I don't have to stay at Epcot after that. So since I'm going to be at Magic Kingdom, and I'm going to try for Tiana, and if I don't get that, maybe Jungle Cruise or Peter Pan. So I'm going to try for one of the Magic Kingdom's tier 1 and see what I can do. So I can do that. So then let's say I rope drop Frozen, I have Soarin', Living with the Land, I've already ridden Nemo, and now I can make another selection. And at Magic Kingdom, I got Peter Pan. Then, once I ride Soarin' or Living with the Land, I can select another ride. Could be Epcot, could be Magic Kingdom, but I can have 3 at all times. You can book 3 attractions at all times. And I'll walk through this. So you can see how important it is to have your schedule in front of you as you begin your booking process. So when you book your lightning lanes, make sure you have your schedule, your must-dos right in front of you, because you only have 5 minutes on the screen to book your lightning lanes. May seem like a long time, but if you are prepared, it's no problem. You have no problem doing this. But make sure you have your must-dos so you're not disappointed. Now, Premier Pass. For guests at Disney resorts, and again, at Swan Reserve, Dolphin, and Shades of Green, this allows you to purchase the Premier Pass. This is very expensive. Now, when I checked the cost, the cheapest was $119, and it went all the way up to almost $400. That's per person, per park. What this allows you to do is to go to the park and go to the lightning lanes. You don't have to keep searching on your phone and saying, okay, so I used one, I tapped into Nemo, now I can schedule another one. You can ride any of the attractions by tapping in and going to the lightning lane line. Now, it's expensive. Is it worth it? Maybe if it's your one time and you're not going for a long time and you know this, then probably. But the cost is date dependent, and it also is park dependent. So you just have to see when you're going, and if you're interested, what you want to do. And remember, with any of the lightning lanes, you can only ride the attraction once. So if I booked Remy and I tapped in and it recorded that I rode Remy, I cannot book it again that day. So let's do some pros and cons. And I'm going to do the cons first because I like to finish on a positive note. Okay, the cons of using lightning lane is it costs money. Now, you could do the same amount. You can most likely do the same amount of things as you would if you purchased the lightning lanes, but it would take you a lot longer, and you will be waiting in lines for hours. So the pros of it is you can get the same amount done in less time. In between rides, you'll have time to eat, to snack, to relax. You'll just have a you'll have a more leisurely day than rushing and rushing and trying to get this done and trying to get that done. This way, you know your must-dos are met. You've ridden, you're happy, you've done what you really came to do, and anything else is just icing on the cake, you know. But it does cost money, but it's well worth it. Now, now this is what I think about lightning lanes. I think, for me, lightning lanes are well worth the money. You're spending, I don't know, just average $22, whatever. You know, it depends on the park and date. It's all date and park dependent. But to me, it's worth it because I get my must-dos done. I have time to rest. I have time to souvenir shop. I have time to sit down and make dining reservations and eat a meal for an hour and maybe go back to the room and have a quick swim or a quick nap, come back, do a few more attractions. Maybe I want to stay for fireworks. It's just at this stage in my life, I'm happy to do that. I don't have to run and try to get every attraction done. But if you're that type and you want to do every attraction, you know, you can. And you can with lightning lanes and you can without. But purchasing lightning lanes is just to me, it's a more enjoyable, relaxing day. And you don't have to run. You know what you're going to do. You know when you have time to take breaks. So to me, lightning lanes are worth it. And when you start booking your lightning lanes, go ahead and book your must-dos, no matter what time. Book your must-dos. You can always modify them, and we will go over how to modify in this next section. And if you modify an attraction with this and you have it as a lightning lane single pass, if you modify the single pass to an attraction that's higher in cost, you will be prompted to pay the difference of that attraction. Now, however, if you modify it to an attraction that costs less, you will not get a refund. So here's an example of me getting up at 7 a.m. 7 days prior to my check-in date at Disney and making lightning lane reservations. So I went to my Disney app and clicked on Purchase Lightning Lanes. And while it's refreshing, I selected the date on which I would like the lightning lanes to apply. And then you select which park. Here I selected Magic Kingdom. Then you select Continue. Then it'll ask you who is included. So you'll check the boxes by the name of everyone that's included. Next, you can see the Tier 1, I selected Tiana. Then Tier 2, Haunted Mansion. And also selected Winnie the Pooh. Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Then you select Continue. Then it asks for your payment information. Now it asks if you'd like to purchase for another day. So I selected that. Again, go through the process. I select the date, which park I'm going to. This time it's Hollywood Studios. Then I click on Continue. And I select Slinky Dog Dash as my Tier 1. And my Tier 2, Toy Story Mania and Muppet Vision 3D. Then I click continue. Then you can go to your future plans and see everything that you selected. Now I'm going to modify Tiana's until a later date. So I wanted a later time. So I wanted it around 5 o'clock. So I click the 5 o'clock button, and you can see that when I go back, Tiana is now at 5 o'clock. Now I'm going to modify Pirates. And Pirates, I selected 6 p.m. and it gives me the times. I select 6 p.m. and continue. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for my other informative and fun videos. And remember, it's easy to stay forever young at Disney.